Hi, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is your Singer 201. And this is the final test before we pack her up to ship her out to you. And in this test, we're going to go over the basics of operation. We're going to start by winding a bobbin. You'll find your bobbin below the slide plate here. And your bobbin winder is, of course, over here. To wind a bobbin, put your thread spool on the spool pin. Go under this little tensioner and up to the bobbin winder. And it's easier to get the thread started on the bobbin before you put the bobbin on. So start by putting the thread through the little hole in the side and holding it there with your finger while you put several wraps on the bobbin just to hold the thread in place while it winds. So put your bobbin on the bobbin winder with the thread going on over the top from front to back, and turn the rubber tire of the bobbin winder until the little keeper pin on the bobbin winder goes into the hole on the side of the bobbin. Press the bobbin winder towards the hand wheel until the little finger drops down into your bobbin. And that little finger, as the bobbin fills, is going to get pushed up until when the bobbin is full, it automatically clicks off so you don't overwind and make a mess. Declutch your machine by turning the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel a quarter of a turn or so towards you until you feel it hit its stop. Then we're ready to wind the bobbin. Oh, not declutch. What are you thinking, machine? Why are you doing that? That's plenty of thread for our test. Click the little finger up to release the bobbin. Tighten the clutch knob. And with the thread coming off the top of the bobbin in this direction, drop the bobbin in the bobbin race and bring the thread back around into the little slot here on the side of the bobbin race and under the flat leaf spring, which is your lower tension, until you feel it click into place. And then when you pull on the thread, you'll feel just a little bit of drag on the thread. To wind or thread the machine, put your spool on the upper spool pin, go into the upper thread guide here, between the discs of the presser tension assembly, all the way back around until you catch the check spring here, and pull the check spring up until your thread clicks into the little notch at the top of your tension assembly. Then when you pull up on your thread, you'll see your check spring move. Then you'll know that you're in it correctly. Go through the take up lever from right to left down to the thread guide on the faceplate, the thread guide below the faceplate, and the thread guide on the needle clamp. Then you're going to go through the eye of the needle from right to left, from the inside of the machine toward the outside. And I always cut a nice clean end on the thread. Makes it go through the needle hole much easier. Make sure you can see your needle hole. Can't thread it if you can't see it. If you're having trouble seeing it, put a piece of white paper behind it and the eye will just pop right out. hold your needle thread and turn the came out of our thread guide. Hold the thread and turn the hand wheel towards you one full revolution, and the needle will take the thread down where the hook will pick it up and wrap it around the bobbin and bring up the lower thread. There it goes. One full revolution, and there's your lower thread. Put your thread between the toes of the presser foot and towards the back of the machine, and we're ready to sew. To set your stitch length, this is your stitch length lever. The 0 position in the middle is where the fabric doesn't move at all, and if you sew in that position, needle goes up and down and makes a big wad of thread below the needle plate, and you have to stop and cut it out. So don't sew in the 0 position. From the center position going down in increments, your stitches get longer and longer and longer until at the very bottom are your longest stitches. Going up from the 0 position, your stitches get longer and longer and longer and longer, but in reverse. So we're going to set it down here at about 12 stitches per inch, which is a good medium. Your tension, about 4.5 is probably a good place for regular fabric, regular thread. A little more maybe for heavier fabric, a little less for more delicate fabric. Just watch your fabric. If it doesn't look right, adjust it up or down a little bit. This is the pressure on your sewing foot. Turn it in to add more pressure, turn it out to release pressure, again, depending on how heavy your fabric is. We'll get to the feed drop in a bit here. Okay, lower your presser foot onto the fabric using the lever in the back here, and holding your thread for the first stitch or two, give it a little gap. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. A little more stitch length. Reverse. Reverse. Forward. Reverse. Forward. That's about it. This is your light switch here. The feed drop. If you want to do machine embroidery or do some darning, and you want to be able to move the fabric by hand, back off your sewing foot pressure, and you can drop the feed dogs so that the teeth don't come up high enough to contact the fabric and move it. And that's, here, let's turn that off. That's down here. This little thumb screw here, screw it all the way out. Then you can push this little lever down, and there's a second threaded hole that you screw your thumb screw into to lock the feed in the down position. When you're ready to go back to regular sewing, again, release that thumb screw, move the lever up until you can screw back into the other threaded hole, and your feed is up again for regular sewing. Um, Oiling. You want to oil your machine. If you just use it, like a few hours a week, maybe 1 day a week, 2 days a week, oil it every month or two, um, and use a good quality sewing machine oil. Um, don't use 3-in-1 oil or WD-40 or anything like that. I've heard that Tri-Flow is okay. I've never tried it myself. But your user manual will show you all of the oiling points. And it'll also show you, in case you need a refresher, it'll show you how to wind the bobbin, how to thread the machine, and all those other things. It'll also show you how to use all of the attachments in your attachment set. This is your button holder. It's got its own user manual here. And this is your automatic zigzagger. And it's also got a user manual inside of it to show you how to work it. And that's about it. If you've come here from somewhere else on the internet and found this video, we are Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and we restore vintage sewing machines. We are on Stagecoach Road out on the Coast Range of Oregon, so we are stagecoachroadsewing.com. And if you come out to our website, you're going to see literally hundreds and hundreds of beautiful machines that we've restored over the last couple of decades. And you'll see views from all different angles, a little bit of information about each one. Just some really beautiful, really interesting machines, kind of like a museum. It's nice to go and just browse down through all of those machines of yesteryear. And at the top of the page, there are usually 15 or so beautifully restored machines that are for sale that you can take home to your own sewing room. So again, we are stagecoachroadsewing.com, and we will see you there.